Hello. Today's going to be a little bit of an experiment to test out a new video series here, a new funny book related series. Somebody asked me once, they're like, why do you have all this different stuff on your YouTube channel? People are going to get confused. And my answer to that is, I'm not here to cater to dum-dums, okay? This is a highbrow, sophisticated YouTube channel for New York elites, New York champagne elites. And if you get confused, if you come here looking for one thing and if you find another, that's just your cross to bear, Bucko. You're here on my time, not on your time. You're on my time. And also, I don't know. I couldn't talk about the same thing all the time. It gets boring. I don't know. Whatever. But so this video series, I thought about calling it Classic Comics Corner. I don't know if I would spell that with three K's or three C's. I don't know if I'll go with that. There's probably something already titled that, and it would be silly. It'd be a dumb joke that I don't know. But anyway, I bought this Swamp Thing book on Amazon at it was reasonably priced, 11 bucks for like a really thick. So this is the Bronze Age Swamp Thing Volume 1. And my experience with Swamp Thing is I mostly remember watching the movies as a kid, the Wes Craven movies. I might actually check that out tonight. And but yeah, that's about all I really remember. And but he's an interesting character. He's more of I consider it more of a horror character than a superhero character. So actually, the reason I picked this up was for Bernie Wrightson. I wanted to get a book of art by Bernie Wrightson, and he did like the first 10 or so issues of this. And I wouldn't say this is necessarily the best example of some of his art that I've seen, but it's still a cool little introduction and a cool introduction to the Swamp Thing character. First thing well, first off, it starts off with a little. He had his origin in something called the House of Secrets number 92. And it's just a quick little like sort of experimental origin story. And in this one, his name is Alex Olson. Swamp Thing's name is Alec Holland, but in this one he starts out as Alec Olson, and his origin is a little different. He's his lab buddy, his lab partner wants to fuck his girl, so he causes a lab explosion and turns him into the Swamp Thing. And I actually kind of like this origin story a little bit better than the one that has been established, where I don't know if they've changed it over the years. Sometimes they do that. But in this one, I don't know, just some mafiosos come for him. And I like the previous sort of experimental version because it sort of adds a little personal flair. You can imagine him, this is the guy here, this stand-up fellow with the mustache. You can imagine him having a sort of long-term personal vendetta with this guy. And but that's so the book has like some yellow, I don't know if some ink spilled on there. This book showed up with some yellow panels here and there, but that's okay. That's fine. But anyway, so I read the little what would you call it? What would you call? Oh my god, I hate when I can't think of words. Concept, whatever. I fucking hate when I can't think of words and I'm on the spot. It makes me look like a fucking dum-dum, like a stupid dum-dum. Why do I even bother? Ugh. So I read the sort of test issue, and I read the first issue. There's a lot of very overwrought prose. I'll just read a little snippet here. This is written by Len Wein, who did this, and I think he did a lot of. I'm not super well versed in who wrote what and this and that, but Len Wein wrote this, and I believe some Batman issues. The darkness cries a long, mournful wail that writhes through the gnarled cypress branches like a breath of Hades' wind, skipping over the placid surface of the stagnant mire below. So there's a lot of that. Lots of overwrought purple prose, but it's kind of nice because it sort of has a sort of gothic, sort of Edgar Allan Poe throwback type feel. Again, Swamp Thing is like more of a horror character than a strict superhero. Everyone is afraid of him. He's an Uggo. He's a scary Uggo. So even when he's trying to help someone, someone's trying to shoot him, trying to get up in his grill. The art, the reason I bought it, the thing about these old comics is the colors are all distracting. I don't like the colors necessarily in these old books. This one isn't too bad, but you can still see, like, I guess they could only use some sort of inking process. There's no real, like, gradation, so it's lots of just bright, flat colors. And again, I don't know if this is like the best of this man's art. Bernie Wrightson, you know, when you're doing a bunch of pages, you have to do quicker, working on deadlines and whatnot. But I also I've seen a lot of his stuff that in black and white that impressed me a heck of a lot more. Maybe the colors just distracting, like stuff like this. Like, I don't know, those colors are they're a choice. Actually, this isn't too bad. This would make a good, like, poster on its own, kinda. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. I guess I haven't decided yet. But I read the Dark Phoenix saga recently, and the colors were just, like, way too bright and way too distracting, and the art was just, I don't know, sort of dated. And this is too, but not to the extent, I don't think. There's some cornball stuff here. He says, "You know, for a woman scientist, you sure fight dirty." Some cornball cheese in there, but it's just sort of part and parcel of these old comic books. I'm flipped through it. I don't know if I don't know. I might do some videos about the rest of the issues. I know this is really scintillating stuff here. But yeah, I'm excited. It's nice to get a new book in the mail. Just sort of sit down on a nice day and peruse through the drawings. That's pretty cool. See, this is the kind of shit that I got it for. Just, I don't know, EC comics, creepy comics, Tales from the Crypt type stuff. That's shit I want to see. See if they got anything else in here. There's Batman. Batman shows up. Batman fights Swamp Thing. Swamp Thing's wearing a coat. Anyway, yeah, that's about it. I'm excited. There's no really new comics. New comics, for one, are not financially feasible for me anyway. I wouldn't really want to go be buying a $4 comic every month all the time. But also the library. It's good to just go to the library and get comic books. Read a lot of comics at the library, but stuff like the older comics, you get a lot of bang for your buck. You get a lot of room for your buck. That's what I'm about. I'm about screaming in pain as I'm lit on fire. Anyway, yeah, that's it. This has been the classic comic corner. What is it? Classic comics. I don't think I'm going to call it that. I'll call it something a lot better than that. But yeah, just a nice, relaxing day. Getting ready to die. Ticking off the hours. Just ticking off the minutes until I die. And my future holds nothing as exciting as turning into a Swamp Thing. I think we all wish that as death comes with its icy grip, we might be reborn. Could Swamp Thing be considered a Buddhist text? He's reincarnated as a plant thing, a swamp thing. Anyway, this was a great video. Goodbye.